You may begin to wonder what happens when an old idea, an old way of being, simply fades away, like a mist dissolving in the morning sun. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to let go of something that no longer serves you, like a coat you've outgrown? You set it down, walk away, and feel lighter. And the more you notice that feeling of lightness, the more you realize something profound. There's no lack. There never was. Because somewhere deep inside, you already know that abundance is not something you chase. It's something you step into. Something that's been there, waiting. Like a river flowing effortlessly, endlessly. Always providing, always renewing. And all you have to do is step into it. And isn't it fascinating how, as you release old beliefs, like victimhood, resentment, they simply melt away, like shadows disappearing, as the light grows brighter. You've known this feeling before. That moment when you suddenly saw a new possibility, and everything just changed. And right now, even as you listen, that shift is happening again, naturally, automatically, as your mind begins to embrace the truth that's always been there. Because resentment, you see, it's like holding a rope tied to the past. And as long as you hold on, you stay tethered. But the moment you simply let go, you're free. And notice how easy it is when you realize you don't need it anymore. You never did. And what happens instead? The space that was once occupied by lack is now filled with joy, with fun, with happiness, with a lightness so natural, so effortless. Do you begin to wonder, was it always this easy? An answer, of course, is yes. And as you step forward, as you step into this new reality, you can feel it now. Abundance, it isn't something outside of you. It's who you are. It's how you think, how you move, how you breathe. And as this new knowing settles deep within, you begin to notice how naturally you embrace it, how effortlessly you release the old, and step fully into the higher energies of love, playfulness, and enthusiasm. And isn't it interesting how all of this is simply happening right now deep inside? Because it is. And the more you notice, the more it grows. And the more it grows, the more it becomes you. And so it is. And as you listen, or maybe you just notice how certain words begin to settle deep inside, you might start to feel something shifting, something opening. Because isn't it interesting how the mind, it already knows how to change. Like the way a river carves new paths, effortlessly, naturally, simply by flowing. And that's what's happening now. As your mind begins to release, to let go, to step into something so much greater, so much lighter, so much more free. Because you know, don't you, that holding on to lack was never really yours. It was just a story, a borrowed idea, like an old coat that was passed down through time. But what happens when you realize you don't have to wear it anymore? What happens when you shrug it off? Feel the fresh air against your skin and step forward, unburdened, into something new. And you may begin to wonder, where did that old idea go? The one that whispered of limits, of not enough. And as you look for it, you realize it's gone. And maybe it was never really there to begin with. Just a shadow that disappears in the presence of light. And the brighter the light, the less room there is for anything else. Because abundance, it isn't something outside of you. It isn't something to be earned, chased, or waited for. It's something you remember, something you reclaim, like a forgotten melody that suddenly returns. And a rhythm so naturally, so effortless, it feels as though it was always there because it was. And isn't it fascinating how easily you can let go of what no longer serves you? Because resentment, victimhood, they were never yours to begin with, were they? They're just echoes of the past, patterns once useful, now outgrown. As you recognize them, as you see them clearly, you begin to understand. You're not them. You never were. You're something far greater, something far lighter. And notice how good it feels to let go, to step forward, to step into the energies of joy, of love, of playful expansion. Because life was never meant to be heavy. Life was meant to be a dance. And the moment you realise this, you're already moving differently, smiling differently, breathing differently. And the more you feel it, the more it becomes your reality. The more it becomes simply who you are. And you might find yourself in the days ahead, noticing little moments, sparks of joy, waves of ease, laughter that rises for no reason at all. And when that happens, you'll remember that something has shifted, that something has changed, that you've stepped into something new. And isn't it wonderful to realise it's already happening right now, because it is.